All right, let's get into it. Today we're talking about how one anime, Fire Force, pulled off something, well, something pretty rare. We're not just going to rehash the plot. Nope, we're diving deep into how its final season delivered one of the absolute best, most satisfying endings in all of modern shonen. Seriously.
So, to really get why the Fire Force ending is such a big deal, you gotta understand the infamous Shonen curse. I mean, if you're a fan, you know the pain, right? This quote from CBR nails it. So many amazing series just fall apart right at the end. The anime catches up to the manga, the studio panics, and they're left with a terrible choice. Wait forever, throw in a bunch of filler, or just make something up. And yeah, more often than not, that leads to these rushed, nonsensical endings that leave everyone feeling completely let down.
Which brings us to the big question, right? How did Fire Force manage to dodge all of that? How did it pull off an ending that didn't just stick the landing, but actually made the entire series even better? Well, let's get into it. Okay, first things first. To really appreciate how great this finale is, we have to look at the huge problem it was up against, and the brilliant way the studio decided to tackle it. So, you've got two paths, right? On one side, you have the usual train wreck, rushed plots, endings that completely ignore the manga, you know the drill. And then, on the other side, you have Fire Force. The creators made a really important decision. They decided to stay 100% faithful to the manga's ending. But, and this is the key part, they also decided to push the animation to its absolute limits. And the studio behind this? David Production. Yeah, the same folks who gave us JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. They went all in, committing to honoring creator Atsushi Okubo's original vision. And for 3 whole seasons, they proved that you can be totally faithful to the source material and create something visually spectacular. They didn't just copy-paste the manga panels, they brought that epic, fiery scale to life on screen. All right, so let's jump into how the final season actually sets all this up, because the stakes, they get raised to like world-ending levels. Okay, so when Season 3 kicks off, things are looking grim. Our heroes, the folks in Company 8, they've been labeled outlaws by the same empire they promised to protect. And to make things even worse, their captain, the super dependable Obi, gets arrested. So now the whole crew is on the run and they are desperate. And who's the mastermind behind all this chaos? This mysterious big bad called the Evangelist. And her plan is actually terrifyingly simple. Step 1, find 8 special people called Pillars. They have this crazy connection to a fire dimension called Adola. Step 2, get them all together. Step 3, trigger a second great cataclysm, and you guessed it, set the entire world on fire. So this is where it all starts coming together. Every single plot thread is on a collision course, leading to one massive, world-ending showdown. And man, the final season is just a masterclass in building tension. It kicks off with the mission to rescue Obi, right? But from there, it just keeps ramping up, one insane conflict after another. Then we see the last pillar emerge, which is basically the signal for the beginning of the end. And that leads directly into the Great Cataclysm arc, where yeah, the entire world is literally about to be destroyed. And the battles? Whoa, we are talking cosmic scale here. The fight between Arthur and the Evangelist's heavy hitter, Dragon, is the perfect example of this. People have called it one of the best produced fights in the whole show, and for good reason. It takes an awesome manga battle and turns it into this mind-blowing animated spectacle where they are literally shattering planets. That is what it means to elevate the source material. So, the Great Cataclysm, it actually happens. The world is just engulfed in flames from Adala. It seems like it's all over, but it's not. In fact, this is where the story goes from epic to absolutely wild. I mean, the world is literally a second sun at this point. All hope is gone. But then our hero, Shinra, manages to tap into the full insane power of his Adola burst. He fuses with his brother and his mother and becomes this new, godlike being with the power to save whatever's left of the human race. This new being is called Shinra Bansho Man. And get this, he doesn't just hit a rewind button. No, he uses this unbelievable power to create a brand new reality, built from the ashes of the old one. A world where the whole spontaneous human combustion thing just doesn't exist anymore. But this new world he creates, it's not just some random happy paradise. What the finale reveals is a twist so big, so shocking, it makes you rethink everything, and I mean everything, you thought you knew about the series. So, what is this new world?
What did Shinra actually make? What are the new rules? Well, the answer, it's probably one of the gutsiest and most brilliant twists in the history of shonen anime. It's the world of Soul Eater. Yeah, you heard me right. The new reality that Shinra creates is the exact same world as Atsushi Okubo's other massive hit series. The entire story of Fire Force was a prequel all along.
And the way it connects is just genius. It's all about themes. Shinra wanted a world where death wasn't so tragic, maybe even a little bit comical. And that desire, it becomes the foundation of the entire Soul Eater universe. This is how we get Death the Kid. This is why there's a grinning moon in the sky. It explains how pyro powers evolved into the soul-based abilities of Meisters and weapons. It's not just a fun crossover, you guys. It's the literal creation story for Soul Eater.
And the craziest part? This wasn't some last-minute idea. This was a master plan. Years, maybe even decades in the making. It's just a huge testament to Okubo's incredible vision as a storyteller. By tying his two biggest series together like this, he created a finale that feels totally shocking, and yet somehow completely inevitable at the same time. It's a massive reward for fans of both series, and it absolutely cements Fire Force's place in anime history.
And that really leaves us with one final thought. Fire Force didn't just end its story, it completely redefined it. So I'll just leave you with this to think about. Has an ending ever made you look at a whole series in a completely different way? It almost never happens, right? But when it's done this well, man, it is just unforgettable.